Hey! It's been a while since the last Tony Hawk video, so we are finally back. As some of you who aren't here just for the racing videos know, I'm a big Tony Hawk fan. Not only the skater himself, but his games. I already made a video on every pro skater game and how I feel about them, so if you're interested, you can check that out. For today's video, I decided to play probably the most forgotten Tony Hawk game. And no, it's not Ride or Shred. You probably know those for how bad they are, and that's just being bad, not forgotten. Believe it or not, this game was originally developed by Vicarious Visions for the Nintendo DS, who by the way had already made a lot of Tony Hawk ports for the Game Boy. And Pro Skater 4 for the PS1. I heard a lot of good things about the Tony Hawk games on handheld devices by being their own thing with a top-down camera, instead of trying to do something impossible with it. So I really can't say much about how Downhill Jam works on the DS. But then, they asked Toys for Bob to make a Nintendo Wii version of this game where the splash screen has a mixture of random noises, Scooby-Doo sounds, and someone burping Toys for Bob. That got annoying very quickly. But after that, they asked Super Villain Games to make a port of the Nintendo Wii port for the PS2. And they still kept that Toys for Bob screen. You probably know if you played a Tony Hawk game before that the intros are usually cool to watch. And most people watch them every time they turned on their console. In this one, you get Tony getting prepared to go downhill, then it starts showing some random characters that they made up for this one, some gameplay, and Tony going downhill. That's it. Now, look, I know what most of you will say, but this is a Wii port. What were you expecting for a Wii port? It's made for kids, blah blah blah, I know. But I played this on my PS2 as a kid, and even then, coming from other Tony Hawk games, this one was a letdown. The intro was short, mostly showed gameplay, only a few seconds of real footage, and you will see why in a minute. I started this one by making my character, which was interesting, considering that they had the exact same models from American Wasteland, but sure, the menu is overcomplicated for no reason. Instead of a list of things that you can pick, you have this all-around type of menu which is confusing at first, but maybe they were compensating for the motion controls on the Wii, so just ignore it because it's a one and done thing too. You start the game with a tutorial, which I guess it's fine for the people who are new to the games, and this is the first Tony Hawk game on the Wii, so sure. It teaches you the basics like moving around, flips, grabs, and the new mechanics like boosting and punching. If you didn't notice yet, yes, this is a racing game. So in the end, I guess we did get for Extreme. Tony's face says it all. You can pick different events, and each event you complete gives you points to rank up, unlocking more events. So it's kind of like in the old games, but you only have one objective in each event. However, here's a funny thing. Every time you pick an event, you get a small cutscene of Tony going down the same road he was before, doing a spin like this. And at first you're like, oh, that's cool. So instead of unlocking videos after beating the game, you watch them as you go. Of course though, if it was like that, I wouldn't be talking about it like this. The 5th time you see one of those, you're like, haha, are they just gonna show the same ones or what? And by the 10th time you understand that yes, they are just gonna show you the same ones. Apparently they only got Tony to go there a single day, and it looks like they got only one shot of him from many different angles. So the only thing you'll see when you start an event is the same footage of Tony doing a spin in different angles. I am dead serious. Every event you start, you also get a small cutscene like an interview with one of the characters you can play as. It's a strange choice, but I think it's fine for what it is. Some of them can be funny, and there's this specific one that got me laughing for the wrong reason.
I was really fired up about coming to Machu Picchu. Good chance to practice speaking the language.
Huh. I didn't realize you spoke Portuguese.
Turns out I don't. I couldn't understand anything anyone was saying.
I bet you probably thought they spoke Spanish over here instead of Portuguese, huh? Lots of people make that mistake. Do you speak Spanish then?
I don't even know anymore, man.
That would be Brazil. Machu Picchu is in Peru. The gameplay here is basically what you would expect from a Tony Hawk game. But of course, being a game for kids, they simplified a lot of stuff. It's actually pretty hard to fall in this game. You know when you hold a trick for too long in other games and fall because of it? It doesn't happen here. You can do tricks and hold them as long as you want and your character will be fine. You also don't have to press the D-pad to do tricks. Just square or circle is enough in this game. And even grinding took a big nerf because look how far you can go in a single rail without bailing. Now, I get it, kids game and all, but I'm pretty sure they give you the normal mode in the Disney game, and that was also developed by Toys for Bob, so... Your one and only challenge in this game is the rubber banding, and maybe the glitches. But yeah, there's a lot of rubber banding in this game. And the problem is that, just like in the old Need for Speed games, if you get too much ahead, someone will pass you and you'll never catch up to him again. So you're basically punished for being good at the game. Great. The gameplay is mostly fine if you're not that good at Tony Hawk and just want to screw around without thinking too much. There's some big shortcuts that you can get that can lead you to massive jumps, slow motion so you can pull out some big combos, and hitting other racers feels good too. Like I said, there are some things that will throw you off if you play these games. Like no manuals, no spine transfer, which, by the way, should be there if you're putting a slope at the end of a hill. Just saying. And sometimes wall push you backwards, and it can be pretty annoying, because while these are useful if you're making a path to do combos, it just sends you in the wrong way in a racing game. The graphics in this game go from just fine to pretty cool depending where you're looking. It's weird that the first levels have basically nothing in them, making it look mostly dead, but after you get to some other places like Rio, you have some great looking levels in my opinion. I don't think they play very well, I'm just talking about the looks. But in other levels like Rome, while I think look nice, are just way off in proportion. Just look at the size of everything in comparison to the racers. Oh, of course, and another thing, repetition. You better be prepared to play the same levels over and over again. The main games felt good for having open places where you could go through any paths you wanted, but here you have the exact same path to go through in different modes, making it boring to say the least. And the soundtrack? Well, of course, music is subjective, and if you play this game as a kid, you're gonna say it's great, but I think it's only alright. For a Tony Hawk game, of course. Don't get me wrong, there's some great bands in it. Anti-Flag, Motorhead, Iron Maiden, Public Enemy, but at the same time, there's a lot of songs that just went by and I didn't even notice, you know? Hell, most songs are turned off by default, depending on the character you pick. They have a different soundtrack for each character, and if you're not the type of person that checked the options, you would never know it. But at least you can turn everything back on. I think that if you want to play a Tony Hawk game, this simply isn't it. You have so many games in the series to pick, and there's really no point picking up this one. Unless, of course, you're like me and is curious to see how a Tony Hawk racing game would be. It's definitely interesting, but not a great game by any means. And I guess that's it for this one. Oh, but this time, before I go, I have to talk to you guys for a few seconds. If you've been here long enough, you know I didn't take a break on Christmas or New Year. Well, I have to now. It will be a 2-week break for personal reasons, but I'll be back soon enough. I wanted to make some extra videos for the time I would be out, but it would simply end up being rushed videos with no purpose besides filling the gap. So I'd rather not upload anything I don't think it's good enough. I hope you guys understand that and that the channel doesn't die in these 2 weeks, but it won't be long. As always, thank you guys so much for the support. We just hit 15,000 subscribers, which is insane. And of course, a huge thank you for the new members. Christopher Mayer and HJ the Hedgehog. Becoming a member really helps me a lot, so a huge thank you to you guys. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Take care.